Welcome back. Today I want to talk about anime tournament arcs and why we literally never care how repetitive they are and how they're pretty much put in every shonen series we've ever seen. Now, I haven't seen every single shonen series out there, obviously, but there are a lot that I have seen, and there's a lot of anime shonen tournament arcs that I appreciate. Pretty much all of them. It doesn't even matter if it's a bad show. I could still really get into the tournament arc. I think it's just one of the best parts about it. And so I'm going to talk about three specific ones, maybe two specific ones. The two specific ones I want to make sure I talk about are Naruto and My Hero Academia, because to me, I think those two tournament arcs hit it right on the dot. They knew exactly what they were supposed to do. And I love it. So what both Naruto and My Hero Academia did, which is something that Hunter x Hunter didn't do, is Hunter x Hunter used its tournament arc to introduce its characters, whereas My Hero Academia and Naruto actually already had a foundation behind those characters, and the tournament arc helped expand on it and let different characters get introduced, but also at the same time pinned the characters that we knew really well against those characters. It made them seem like they were a villain at first, and it kind of gave them a redemption arc afterwards, after that tournament arc where they were basically depicted as one. You can use Gaara as an example of that, right? So let's think about it this way. Neji's another example of that, by the way. I want to start and talk about each specific tournament arc. So, starting with the Naruto one, the reason why we loved it is because we only had focus on Team 7. That's all we had focus on. They touched a little bit on the rest of, is it Konoha 11? Hold on, 3 per squad, right? But Sasuke left, so he's not part of it. So yeah, it's Konoha 11, right? I think I'm right. We knew about the Konoha 11, so it was 12 at the time. But we didn't really know much else. In other words, we knew about our Team 7, but we didn't get as much info about the others as we may have thought of, right? As we may have thought we did, I should say, right? And there's a reason for that. And obviously, it's so that you can develop emotional attachments to the characters. So when they did the arc where they went to the mists and had the battle on the bridge, we were very invested in Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. We didn't care about anybody else, right? And that's when you can use a tournament arc to help expand your cast. Naruto took off in the Chunin exams arc, and the reason why it did is because the cast went from 4 to 20 out of nowhere. You introduce Orochimaru, one of the recurring villain of the series. You introduce the other 3 senseis that aren't Kakashi. You introduce like 10 to 15 other characters, including the ones from the sand like Gaara and guys like Kabuto as well. I mean, you're just all over the place. You just took your cast and expanded it from 4 to 25. And that's a really, really good way to do it. And then My Hero Academia did the exact same thing. They used the tournament arc to showcase classes that weren't just 1A. They used it to showcase Class 1B. We learned so much about Class 1B. The reason why people love tournament arcs is because people love when the cast gets expanded from just 5 or 6 to 20 to 30. It's incredible, actually, when you think about the fact that they can introduce this and they can use this and they can showcase all these new people's abilities. So you legitimately feel like you know them. And it's really easy to catch on to know what they can do. This is actually an incredible thing that has been thrown together in pretty much every single tournament arc that we've done, except for Boruto. You see, this is why Boruto is a problem child. Because Boruto did their own Chunin exams, and I was like, this is their opportunity. Too bad they already started with a cast that was very, very big, and they did not expand it in the Chunin exams. No, they did not. They introduced one guy, and that was Gaara's son. They didn't care whatsoever about everybody else. We hardly saw them do anything, and we definitely won't see them again. It literally didn't matter. So Boruto was a problem child. But My Hero Academia and Naruto, it's the expanding of the cast. And furthermore, with that expanding of the cast, you can get guys that are on your side that have the same goal as you and depict them as villains because you are enemies for this entire tournament arc. Todoroki is an example. Neji is an example. Gaara is an example. Now, Gaara was a little bit of a different case, obviously, but Todoroki and Neji are perfect examples. These are two guys that, as simple as it is, are fighting on the same side as you. But because you two were fighting in this tournament arc against each other, They were immediately depicted as villains, and that's all we cared about. We hated them. We wanted the main character to destroy them. And Naruto did that with Neji, and Deku didn't do that with Todoroki, but instead, because My Hero Academia loves to do something that a lot of shows don't do, which is let the main character lose, Deku at least saved Todoroki and got him in the right mindset. So maybe Todoroki is a little bit of a different example, but I still don't think so, because he still is fighting for the same thing. He still wants to be the hero. He still wants to be the greatest hero of all time. Simple as that. That's why. So that all fits really, really well. I'm thinking of another, and I mentioned the Hunter x Hunter's Hunter exam arc, which is a tournament arc. And I think about how the real problem with that was, one, they started the show with it. It was used to expand the cast, but it was also used to introduce the main characters at the same time, and I think that didn't really fit as well as I had hoped it would. Especially because, other than Hisoka and Illumi, and obviously we have our main four, we didn't really see the rest of the hunters that were in that Hunter exam much at all, unless they just died to Chimera Ants, which is something that happened. So that was really just a flop. A lot of times when you use a tournament arc to expand your cast, that cast stays expanded. We might not see some of those others for a while, but when they come back, they're always important because we always remember them. That's a really big thing that has to be included. And that's why I think, even though I love Hunter x Hunter, I think that starting with a tournament arc made everything fall apart. And then furthermore, they did the Heaven's Arena, right? And the Heaven's Arena was also a semi-tournament arc, but the problem with that is that it was all about Gon versus Hisoka, and the other people Gon fought against never showed up again. So it just continues from there. It really didn't matter as much as I had hoped that it would, and it was a big disappointment, to be honest. Now, there are some shonen series that don't do tournament arcs. Obviously, Attack on Titan is an example of one, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to do tournament arcs, but I think tournament arcs work really, really well. I can't believe I'm actually saying something good about Fairy Tail here, but I will, because their tournament arc worked the way it was supposed to. Fairy Tail had a foundation. The Wizards of Fairy Tail were their main cast, and they expanded on it when they had a tournament arc, and they were able to introduce the two new Dragon Slayers, Sting and Rogue, and they were able to introduce some other guys that we have seen here and there but not know much about, and brought back some old characters, and guys like Leon were just kind of there, which was kind of dumb because we already knew him, but you know, it just kept going from there, and I appreciated that. I thought that made a lot of sense. And I think, honestly, they did a pretty good job executing that tournament arc, except for the fact that they won. I think the fact that they won was the biggest problem. I think another thing that makes tournament arcs as good as they are have to do with the fact that you always lose or there's no outcome. My Hero Academia and Naruto are perfect examples, right? Naruto beats Neji, and then Orochimaru shows up and the tuning exams are canceled, right? My Hero Academia, Deku actually lost, but even if he beat Todoroki, they might have found some other way to do it. They always make a way so the main character doesn't win. And in Fairy Tail, to be fair, the main character didn't win. Lucy lost. But why is Lucy still the main character? I really don't understand it. Natsu is obviously a better choice. And I don't know why that was even a choice that was made, but whatever. But yeah, it just keeps going from there, though, you know? So really, the fact of the matter is that tournament arcs never get old because they're always the best tool for expanding the cast, and also they give you the best battles that you'll never see because it's not realistic. It's not realistic whatsoever for two people that are on the same side to fight against each other. But a tournament arc lets you have that. In My Hero Academia, we will never see Deku fight Todoroki again, right? We'll see him fight Bakugo again, possibly. I mean, the two of them have finally figured things out, so maybe they won't. But the fact that we did, even after any tournament arc, was also great, right? We would never see Naruto fight Neji again outside the Chunin exams, right? And it just continues on from there. You're not going to fight people that are on the same side as you, but a tournament arc makes you do it. And I think that's what's so great about it. You know, you expand the cast, you make people care about that cast, you showcase different powers, and furthermore, you also get to pick battles between characters that you never would have been able to see otherwise because it wouldn't be realistic and people wouldn't appreciate it. So I'm working through One Piece right now. I'm on episode 200 or so. And I know One Piece has a tournament arc and I'm super excited for it. So I'll probably do an updated version of this video once I have a few more tournament arcs to go over. But I really, really appreciated the two that I went over. And I think that is why tournament arcs in general are so widely accepted and so widely appreciated because people don't care that it's the same thing over again. I mean, obviously every tournament has their different way of working, right? It always ends with one-on-one battles, but there's different things to get you there. I mean, with Naruto, it was the test, and then it was the Forest of Death. With My Hero Academia, it was the obstacle course, and then I forgot what they called the cavalry battle, right? In Hunter x Hunter, they had the different phases of the Hunter exam. There were tons of them, and then they had one-on-one battles, and then even more so, to be disappointing, they didn't showcase all the one-on-one battles, which they didn't end up using a lot of those characters outside of Hisoka anyway, so it didn't really make sense to showcase all those battles, but it still could have been cool to get a lot of time to do so, right? So that is what I have to say about tournament arcs. That's why I think they're as successful as they are, and why people don't think they're repetitive whatsoever. So that's going to be it for me, though. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening to my voice. I know it's a difficult thing to do, but you know what? You guys pulled it off. You guys are great. Be sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button while you're down there, and comment on what your favorite anime tournament arc is. I'd love to know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.